Hey, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk. So we're gonna do a CD haul video. So these are CDs that I got during the month of August from Adam at the Record Krate, and he just like July when I bought a lot of 7-inch singles from him. He was doing a lot of CD sales. I think just about every day in August, and I'm still trying to listen. I haven't listened to all of them yet. I'm actually taking a bit of a hiatus from accumulating new stuff from him beyond this. Sorry, Adam, but eventually I'll be caught up. But um, I kind of focused on alternative music, indie music with this one. So most of these are not going to be well known bands. So the one that Adam really recommended to me. So this is a Raleigh based band called the Slackmates. I think this was their only album. It's called Hot Car Girls from 1997. Was put out on Stella Records. Discogs has them putting out it on DG Records in Germany. Didn't have the Stella Records version. And so this is basically it's surf rock and all instrumental. And it sounds like surf rock, but with technology and equipment and recording quality befitting the mid 1990s rather than, say, the early 1960s. I very much enjoy this. I can kind of see why I don't think there was ever like the big surf rock revival the way we had like the swing revival during that time period. But like this, let's go through other stuff a lot more quickly. So I got this funny little. This is a CD single by XTC. I'm the Man Who Murdered Love from the year 2000. So this is relatively late XTC. The Lot 6 Animals from Boston 2002 on a minor label called Espo Records. I do have a quick story to tell about one of the members of the band, Aaron Sinclair. This guy's a real genre hopper. So he's from Texas, had moved to the Boston area, was in a band in the mid late 90s called Drexel that was third wave ska. And then he joined this Lot 6 band for like the early 2000s, this album from 2002, and they were like indie math rock. And then he was in a band called Frank Smith. That was an alt country band. So started during the late 2000s. I know them because we're going to get our Juliana Hatfield content, and Juliana Hatfield and Frank Smith made an EP together. So if you ever want to hear Juliana singing with country instrumentation, banjo, steel guitar, that's your one and only opportunity. At that point, Aaron Sinclair moved back to Texas, Austin, has a band called A. Sinclair, which is basically garage rock. So he's been all over the place. Next one I have for you, more 1997 music. This is Hum with Downward is Heavenward on the MCA label. So they were from Champaign-Urbana, Illinois. This was the album after their hit album, You Prefer an Astronaut, which had their famous song called Stars. This was the last album they ever put out on RCA. It comes across as kind of your typical late 90s, underpublicized, your contract is up release that a lot of our alternative rock bands that may have had a hit or two and then their careers kind of fizzled out. So there's a lot of records like that. The Curve, Frozen. This is a 1991 EP. British band Shoegaze on Virgin Charisma. So 4 tracks there. More North Carolina content. I get a lot of my Raleigh Durham content, Research Triangle content from Adam. Grover, My Wildlife, 1995 on Zero Hour Records. So Mitch Easter's ex-wife called Angie Carlson was part of this band. Chris Phillips, who's more well known for being in the Squirrel Nut Zippers as the drummer, was in Grover as well. Now this one has obviously lots of people. This is a Buddy Holly tribute album, so you can see lots of famous people like Paul McCartney and Fiona Apple and Lou Reed and My Morning Jacket And for some reason, they let Kid Rock on this album. That seems like a mistake. Scream. So this is a compilation of their first two albums, Still Screaming and This Side Up. And so they were a hardcore band from Washington, D.C. on Discord record label. And so these two albums came out in 83 and 85. The band Scream is most well known for being the band that Dave Grohl was in before he joined another band called the Foo Fighters. But Dave Grohl was not on either of these two albums. So if you're a Dave Grohl completist, you don't need Scream. At least that Scream. We've got Jason Ricci, and I'm scrolling down my notes, and New Blood, Feel Good Funk. So this is like from 2001, blues rock. Basically, this is kind of a private press. It's called Raw Fox Records on Discogs, although I don't see actually anything in here that says that. He's kind of a gay skate punk harmonica player from Maine. That's how I saw him described. Bill Maloney, sort of a veteran singer-songwriter, Americana. He's self-released a lot of records over the years. He's pretty prolific. I know he lives in New Mexico. I don't know if that's where he was originally from. So this 2011 album from him called The Power and the Glory. Natalie Merchant, you may know her. She's from 10,000 Maniacs. Pretty well-known album called Tiger Lily from 1995. Moaning, this is pretty new. This is 2020 music, sort of post-punk shoegaze. Band from Los Angeles, their second album on the Sub Pop label. As I drop my CDs all over the place. We've got, what's the next one here? G-Love and Special Sauce, their self-titled debut from 1993, sort of the alternative hip-hop, jazz, rock, blues fusion. They were from Philadelphia. This is on OK Records. I think usually your 78s come on OK. I saw them open for Violent Femmes at one point in my life. So, Shallow Rain. This is some late 80s alternative rock. Psyche sort of sounding. 1989. The second of their two albums on a minor label called Raindrop. And they were from the Dallas area. The Sidewinders. This is actually a promotional CD single of a song called Witch Doctor from 1988. They were from Tucson, Arizona. I mainly know Tucson, Arizona musically for being Giant Sand, How Gelbin Gang. This band eventually became called Sand Rubies. So Tucson has cool sounding band names, Giant Sand and Sand Rubies and the like. Mets, Strange Peace. This is another recent Sub Pop from 2017, sort of noise. And they're a Toronto-based group. Banked Walker. This one was hard to track down information about. So the record's called What Would Jesus Do? It's from 2003, and it sort of might be gospel. It sort of might be alternative psychobilly. He sort of might be from Raleigh. There's no Discogs on it. You could write him at his email address, bankedwalker@hotmail.com. And we've got Finfang Foom with this album called United Fortification. So this is another sort of math rocky, post-rocky album from 1998. It's actually an EP. They were originally from Jacksonville, but had relocated to North Carolina on a minor label called Mental Static. And the last one I have here, it's not even been, I haven't even opened it yet. Ugly Americans. So Panopticon. This is punk. I believe it's relatively, yeah, it's 2014, self-released hardcore punk. They're from Durham, North Carolina, and this is a reunion album for a punk band that had been active in that North Carolina area back in the 1980s. So there you go, a bunch of CDs I bought, and a bunch of them I haven't listened to yet because I buy too many damn pieces of music.